In a deeply symbolic and historic event, King Charles III was presented with the key to Canada House as the iconic London building marked its 100th anniversary. As the monarch and sovereign of Canada, this moment not only honored a century of diplomatic and cultural ties but also served as a powerful gesture ahead of the King's upcoming royal visit to Ottawa. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's royal update, we're diving into a truly historic moment, King Charles III receiving the key to Canada House on its 100th anniversary, just ahead of his much-anticipated visit to Ottawa. It's a celebration of diplomacy, legacy, and Canada's close connection to the Crown. So before we begin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment from the royal world. With all the pomp, grace, and ceremony the occasion deserved, the event brought together Canadian and British dignitaries, military representatives, and members of the royal family to celebrate the profound and enduring relationship between Canada and the Crown. Let's take an in-depth look at this meaningful milestone, the heritage of Canada House, the history of the royal family's relationship with Canada, and what this royal moment means for the future. A century of Canada House, a symbol of unity located on Trafalgar Square in the heart of London, Canada House has stood as a cornerstone of Canadian diplomacy and cultural identity in the United Kingdom for a full century. Originally purchased in 1923 by the Canadian government, the stately building has served as a diplomatic mission, cultural showcase, and gathering place for Canadians abroad. It hosts official ceremonies, promotes Canadian business and culture, and remains a proud symbol of the country's place on the world stage. On this historic 100th anniversary, Canada House was more than just a building. It was a testament to the strong, peaceful, and enduring relationship between Canada and the United Kingdom, and by extension, the monarchy. The royal arrival. King Charles at Canada House under overcast skies typical of London spring. King Charles III arrived at Canada House to much anticipation and ceremony. Dressed in a classic navy suit with a maple leaf pin on his lapel, the king exuded calm, dignity, and warmth as he was welcomed by Canadian High Commissioner Ralph Goodale, senior representatives from Global Affairs Canada, members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in full dress uniform, Canadian youth ambassadors and Indigenous leaders. Outside the building, a crowd of spectators and tourists gathered, waving both Union Jacks and Canadian flags, cheering as the king stepped out of his royal vehicle. Receiving the key, a moment of historic significance at the heart of the day's celebration was a symbolic gesture, the presentation of the key to Canada House to King Charles. Presented by Commissioner Goodale on behalf of the Government of Canada, the key was a beautifully crafted ceremonial object made from Canadian wood and metal, adorned with the maple leaf and the royal cipher. As the king received the key, he smiled warmly and said, "Canada has always held a special place in my heart." To receive the key to this iconic building, a place where so many bonds have been forged, is a profound honor, especially as we look toward the next chapter in our shared story. The moment was filled with symbolism. The key represented Canada's trust in the monarchy, the deep ties of friendship, and the century of unity that Canada House has fostered. A legacy continued. Royal family and Canada. King Charles III is no stranger to Canada. Over the decades, both as Prince of Wales and now as King, he has made more than 20 official visits to the country. Each visit strengthened ties with Canadians and showcased his dedication to issues such as the environment, reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, and youth development. His most recent visit in 2022, alongside Queen Camilla, focused heavily on Indigenous reconciliation, environmental sustainability, and celebrating Canada's diverse heritage. Receiving the key to Canada House just before his upcoming visit to Ottawa sends a powerful message. The relationship between Canada and the Crown is not just ceremonial, but living and evolving. Inside Canada House, celebrating Canadian culture following the outdoor ceremony, King Charles toured a curated exhibition inside Canada House highlighting Canada's contributions to art, architecture, innovation, and global diplomacy. He was shown Indigenous Canadian artwork, including pieces from Inuit and First Nations artists, historical documents chronicling the creation and evolution of Canada House, photographs of royal visits, from Queen Elizabeth II to Prince William and Princess Catherine. He also spoke with Canadian youth leaders living in the UK, discussing issues such as climate action, education, and multiculturalism. One young delegate from Alberta said, "Meeting the King and seeing how genuinely interested he is in what we're doing. It reminds us that we're part of a larger Commonwealth family. A glimpse ahead. King Charles's Ottawa visit. The presentation of the key also served as a symbolic prelude to King Charles's upcoming trip to Ottawa, scheduled for later this year. While details are still being finalized, sources within Buckingham Palace and Rideau Hall confirm that the visit will focus on commemorating Indigenous reconciliation efforts, highlighting Canada's environmental initiatives, honoring Canadian Armed Forces personnel and veterans, and marking key historical milestones, including Canada's involvement in the Commonwealth. The visit will be King Charles's first time back in Canada since ascending to the throne, making it a highly significant and historic moment for the country. Public reaction in the UK and Canada. The Canada House ceremony made headlines across both nations. News outlets such as the CBC, the Globe and Mail, BBC, and the Times praised the King's involvement and the rich symbolism of the event. Canadians responded with a mix of nostalgia, pride, and curiosity. "Canada House is such a beautiful reminder of our story," wrote one commenter on social media. "It's nice to see the King continuing the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II and staying connected to Canada. Whether you're a monarchist or not, you have to respect the cultural significance of this moment." Meanwhile, in the UK, royal watchers celebrated the event as a sign that King Charles is stepping confidently into his role as the head of the Commonwealth, upholding traditions while also addressing contemporary values and concerns. A century celebrated, a future embraced. The presentation of the Canada House key to King Charles III on its 100th anniversary was not just a ceremonial affair. It was a deeply symbolic affirmation of unity, respect, and mutual history. From the first time Queen Elizabeth visited Canada House in 1951 to this poignant moment with King Charles in 2025, the building has been more than a diplomatic outpost. It has been a bridge of culture, identity, and shared purpose. As Canada continues to shape its own path on the global stage, balancing its identity as a sovereign nation with its historical ties to the Crown, events like these serve as powerful reminders of a unique, evolving relationship that spans continents and generations. And as King Charles prepares to walk the grounds of Ottawa once again, he carries with him the key to a house built on trust, respect, and 100 years of Canadian pride. What are your thoughts on King Charles receiving the key to Canada House? Is this a sign of even stronger ties between Canada and the monarchy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with fellow royal fans. We've got more fascinating royal stories and behind-the-scenes moments coming your way, so stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.